All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of El Supercast. With me today is MSUHitman from the Checkmate Arcade, a podcast that deals with video games. How are you doing, my friend?
Pretty good, sir. Pretty good. Thank you very much. And you were one of our first listeners. We're both old friends from the old Versus Realms trading card game website. And thanks for having me on. And the Hitman is for Bret Hart. So that shows you my allegiance slash aptitude for wrestling, or at least you can figure out who I like probably going just from that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I gotta ask you, how did you feel with having the Hitman returning for a very special Monday Night Raw?
I was torn about it. Everybody thought that I would just be the drooling fanboy about it, but I'm just worried about what's going to happen. I think all this is Brett is trying, probably in his heart, to mend fences. But what I've been saying to friends of mine is he's not going to be able to mend fences with Vince McMahon until either one of them or both of them are 6 feet under. I just think those bridges are completely burnt. Michaels and Triple H, I mean, they're the perpetual snakes in the grass. They may say one thing and do the other. I'm not for sure about them. I really think the other reason is Brett does not want any of his extended family members, all the Hart Dynasty people, to not be adversely affected with his relationship. So as long as Brett is not made to be look like a total fool, which, given the ending of that show, that fear is not subsided yet, and as long as builds up maybe Hart Dynasty, I would be content with it. I understand why he did it, but I just wish he could actually be a more active role, because given his injuries, I'm sure he's not going to be able to do any type of actual wrestling match except for maybe like a referee type role or timekeeper, enforcer, or something.
Yeah, it's a very tricky thing, dealing with McMahon and his shenanigans, and the way that they took it. Obviously they did it because they wanted to cash in on as much ratings as they could.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure we're going to talk about TNA. As much as maybe Vince doesn't want to admit it, this is the first time he's really going to be getting a really serious competition. I know TNA's been around for a while, but there's rumblings that they're going to actually go head to head. So he hasn't had a show go head to head against them more than once a year or so since when was WCW bought? 01, 02? Since
I think so. Yeah.
For almost an entire decade. Pretty close.
Well, it's interesting because TNA, they kind of took things in a weird perspective. Things that they had that made themselves a bit different as opposed to all the other federations and organizations that are out there. Yeah, they pretty much killed the six-sided ring, and that sucks.
Yeah, I sent tweets to Jeremy Borash's Twitter account and Jeff Jarrett's that basically, tell Dixie that she and Hogan killed the soul of TNA and they lost their number one fan in St. Louis. And the reason I say that is due to some personal things that happened. I lost access to pay TV, cable, satellite, what have you, back in the spring of 2008. And for the last year plus, I have been getting the episodes every week off of the Xbox 360. They would be available for download a few days after the show aired. So I was literally spending $8 a month to watch TNA.
Wow.
For
So, let me ask you about how's the quality in that?
the quality is really good. Before it was download only. It's a 480p, so it's DVD quality. Now you could stream it, or you can download it and watch it. Like I said, it's DVD quality. A few of the episodes I've gotten on the PlayStation 3 just because sometimes they get it a couple days sooner than the Xbox. And I think just the PS3 in general, colors are a little brighter on it than they are on the 360. But regardless, it's DVD quality. You don't get any commercials with it, so instead of 2 hours, it's 80 minutes. But instead of the commercial breaks, you just kind of fade to black and then fade back in.
All right.
But also some of the things, like if they would do some promos, like the whole Hogan promo that happened on the UFC Ultimate Fighter finale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't see that at all. So sometimes some things like that, some promo things, will get cut out, and you get essentially just the show. So that's not too big a deal, but I've never had a problem with the quality. It's always been great. The only thing is waiting for it. Sometimes the episode would be ready Saturday. Sometimes it might not be ready till Monday. Sometimes it might be a full week before it came out. So it was kind of a weird on the schedule. Just constantly every day checking to see it had been uploaded yet.
So that's probably to do with them and not.
Yeah, it's something with Microsoft, Sony, and TNA and Spike. Yeah.
Well, it seems to me $8 that's kind of a bit much just for one TV show. It's TNA, but still, it seems
right. you would, Mr. Awesome, and you have been drilling that into my head. I've been using essentially the Xbox as a DVR. And I've been getting the shows I want, through that. So the shows are $2 an episode. So that's where I'm getting the $8 a month, given most months there's 4 weeks in a year.
Okay, well that sounds more reasonable. I thought it was $8 just for one episode.
No. Sorry. I should have clarified. Yeah, it's $2 an episode to watch standard def TV shows on the Xbox and the PlayStation 3.
Well, the thing is, most of the time you can't even get a freaking comic book for $2 anymore.
You can't.
Seems alright.
Yeah. But I've been watching TNA. I've seen every episode since the Spike TV debut back in, what was that, 05? Maybe 06? Can't remember exactly.
Oh, something like that. Oh, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so, I was at the Lockdown pay-per-view in 07 when they had the horrible, those two worst matches I've ever seen live was the electrified cage, quote-unquote, and the blindfold match. I was there for that. I've been watching them for 4 years, and it just seems to me Hogan and Bischoff have turned it into WCW 1997, and I really didn't like WCW 1997 that much.